What if the Lakers' biggest off-season move simply isn't enough? Imagine staring down the opening tip of the 2024-25 NBA season with a roster that's subtle in its shifts but heavy with questions that cut to the bone of what it means to build a true championship contender. Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truths collide with purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so your heart never misses a beat. Let's crack open the truth behind the Lakers' biggest vulnerability heading into the new campaign, something far more layered than just missing a blockbuster trade or a megastar signing. The Lakers didn't roll the dice for a full-scale rebuild or a shock-and-awe roster overhaul this offseason. No, this was quieter, a chess game played in shadows, sprinkled with strategic moves designed to plug some serious holes. The headline: Grabber? The acquisition of DeAndre Ayton. Yes, the big man from Phoenix is the centerpiece here, expected to shoulder the weight in the paint. An answer to last season's glaring soft spot under the rim when zones collapsed and opponents bullied. The basket. But here's the twist. Ayton's not a cure-all. If he fails to consistently deliver dominant inside presence and offensive production to back it up, the Lakers risk wading back into the same swamp that nearly drowned them in the 2024 playoffs. A lack of rim protection and low post scoring that forces LeBron and Davis to overextend. Add in the re-signing of Jackson Hayes, who offers depth in the frontcourt, something the purple and gold dearly missed last year, and you start to see a frontcourt evolving, but not necessarily transforming. Depth? Yes. Dominance? That remains a big question mark. But DeAndre's arrival is only one chapter in this unfolding saga. The glaring shadow Dorian Finney-Smith walked away this summer, packing his bags to Miami, leaving the Lakers with a defensive and wing-size hole that is harder to fill than coaches or front office brass might admit. In walks Jack LaRavia, a young talent hungry to prove he belongs in the rotation of a championship-caliber team, but still raw in the kind of playoff intensity situations Lakers fans demand. On the veteran side, Marcus Smart's arrival is a double-edged sword. Yes, he brings a Defensive Player of the Year pedigree, but carries a history of nagging injuries and inconsistency in recent years. Can Smart's tenacity and defensive IQ offset the athleticism and floor spacing Finney-Smith provided? Will LaRavia's development curve be steep enough to make a difference in high-leverage moments? The Lakers' wing situation remains a question that keeps fans awake at night. Now, pivoting awkwardly to the backcourt, the Lakers' guard rotation is far from settled elite. With the starting backcourt of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves boasting serious talent, the primary concerns slide down the bench where Bronny James, entering his sophomore NBA campaign, still inches forward in growth. A project with tantalizing upside, but not yet a proven contributor. Gabe Vincent, meanwhile, has displayed a shooting stroke hovering around 36% from three a metric. That's respectable, but hardly enough to swing close games or stretch defenses consistently. So as the roster stands, the backcourt depth is an open question mark waiting for definitive answers. The Lakers may be forced to use cap space, trade chips, or buyout sooner than later to upgrade this unit. But here's the detail no one's talking about. While truths rise about wings and guards, the biggest gap may be not in raw talent, but in how the pieces fit together: team chemistry, player roles, defensive schemes, and the stubborn question of whether this blend can sustain a high-level crunch-time performance. Compared to Lakers' glory years from Showtime's fast-paced brilliance of Magic and Kareem to the armored dominance of Shaq and Kobe, to Pau Gasol's seamless integration into a star duo, and the 2020 bubble championship saga marked by resilience, the current roster feels like a puzzle with missing middle pieces. The stars and veterans are there, but the supporting cast impact and reliability are in question. With Kyler Kelly and Christian Coloco rounding out a camp roster of 20, the preseason games promise to be a forensic analysis for the Lakers brass. Each possession scrutinized, every lineup experiment a commentary on depth, balance, and playoff readiness. The Western Conference arms race is heating up relentlessly. Phoenix, Denver, Golden State, and the renewed Clippers all vying fiercely. Lakers can't just patch wounds. They need to evolve or risk another frustrating postseason exit. So here's what keeps the newsroom and diehard fans buzzing down late into the night. Is it legitimate to call the wing position the Lakers' biggest vulnerability? Or is the point guard rotation's uncertainty and the beyond the starters? Vulnerability, a deeper cancer threatening the team's championship ambitions. And with so many unknowns hovering, can Ayton truly anchor the paint as the franchise dreams? Will LaRavia and Smart erase the defensive dip left by Finney-Smith? Or are we settling for stopgaps on a roster that demands leaps, not steps? As a lifelong Lakers believer, I can't help but feel we're on the edge of something massive, a crossroads where decisions quiet as they might be defined legacies. But is this the move that launches a new Lakers era? Or the gamble that haunts us for years? Drop your unfiltered takes in the comments. I'll be right there, heart in hand. So the question hanging heavy in the air is this: how much longer can purple and gold believers stomach the chaos before the front office's wild decisions either spark a legendary comeback or implode everything we thought we knew? Hit that like button, subscribe, and slap that notification bell so you're front row for every seismic shake. This Lakers saga will deliver, because with all eyes now fixated on how this roster crisis will unfold, the tension is practically electric. With LeBron juggling the mounting pressure of adapting to a constantly morphing lineup and a D-zone frustrations simmering just beneath the surface, you can feel the fault lines begin to crack through the locker room. Will this team find its rhythm in time, or are we witnessing the unraveling of what should have been a championship-caliber squad? The Western Conference isn't sitting still. Those hungry contenders circling the playoff picture smell Lakers' vulnerability like sharks, the Nuggets sharpening their edges, the Warriors quietly recalibrating for another run, and the Suns looking to exploit every perceived weakness. But here's the part nobody's talking about. What if the Lakers' upheaval isn't just about who's on the court, but a deliberate gamble on something far riskier, reshaping the team chemistry in a way that forces certain stars to step up in roles nobody expected, echoing the transformative tension of the Showtime years, or even the raw grit Kobe demanded during those legendary battles against Duncan and the Spurs? Imagine LeBron embracing a different leadership style entirely, something that propels this patchwork squad beyond the sum of its parts just in the nick of time. Or consider the looming question: what if the trade fallout, instead of being a setback, quietly pushes fringe players into a breakout playoff performance that rewrites their trajectory and stuns the West? Yet the shadow of potential disaster remains, with rotation headaches, injury risks compounding, and the looming weight of expectations crushing every misstep. Could this be the turning point before an emotional bubble-like triumph, or is it a Trojan horse that shatters the delicate balance needed to make that final title run? Fans can't help but look back to the chaotic rebuild in the 2010s, a reminder that sometimes patience turns into years lost, and wonder if the Lakers' high-stakes moves this season risk repeating history on a much larger scale. There's a nervous energy pulsing through every social feed and locker room hallway, with whispers that maybe, just maybe, the era of buttery, elegant purple and gold basketball we crave is morphing into something unrecognizable, and we might be witnessing the very fissures that end dynasties, not begin them. As a Lakers fan, the weight of all this history and expectation feels almost unbearable. Will this be the dawn of a phoenix-like rise, or the fracture that finally crumbles the throne? Drop your raw takes in the comments. I'll be right there, with you, riding every pulse-pounding twist, and turn on this wild Lakers ride.